Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter triangles. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is mid segments of the triangle. So let's just start with the lesson. Mid segments. W is the midpoint of Vx and T is the midpoint of Ux. So if UV equals 76, what is TW? So W is the midpoint of Vx and T is the midpoint of Ux. If UV equals this is 76, we need to find the length of TW, right? So we given the TW is exactly W is the midpoint of Vx and T is the midpoint of UT. That means TW is half of UV, right? So half of UV means 76 divided by 2 and that equals 38. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, if K is the midpoint of JG and I is the midpoint of AG, if IK is 35, what is GH? So we are given the length of the IK, that is 35. We need to find GH, right? Basically, IK is exactly the half of GH, right? We need to find the length of GH. So GH equals twice the IK. So 2 times 35 is 70. So option number 2 is the correct option, that is GH equals 70. Okay, let's just start with the next one. The correct option is 70. If Wx equal 40, what is Tv? Wx equals 40, then Tv is exactly the half of Wx. So half of Wx is Vt equals half of Wx. So Wx is 40, half of Wx is 20. So the correct option is 20. Option number 2 is the correct option. 28 is. If Vx equal 41, what is Uy? Then Uy equals 82 because Uy is twice the Vx. Okay, if W is the midpoint of Vx and T is the midpoint of Ux, if UV equals 76, what is TW? So which is the correct option? TW is half of UV, right? So that equals 38. Option number 2 is the correct option. W is the midpoint of Vx and Y is the midpoint of XZ. If YZ equals 74, what is WY? So which is the correct option? If VZ equals 74, what is WY? So WY equals 37. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just do next lesson. Next lesson is triangles and bisectors. What is HK? So triangle HIK is similar to triangle JIK and IK bisects HIJ. So if JK equals to, then HK also equals to. Let's just start with the test questions. If UX is similar to WX, UX and angle UVX is 38 degrees. What is the measurement of angle WVX? So triangle VWX is similar to triangle VUX, right? So if angle VUX is 38 degrees, that means angle WVX is also 38 degrees. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 38. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is HK? So triangle IJK is similar to triangle IHK. So JK equals 2 and HK is also equal to 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is TV? SV equals 12. So then ST also equals 12 because the line SU is the midpoint, line S is the midpoint of TV, so that also equals 12. So 12 plus 12 is 24. Option number 2 is the correct option. 24 it is. If FG is similar to FI and HI equals 66, what is GH? GH. IH is 66, then GH is also 66. If FG is similar to Fi and HI is equal to 66, what is GH? The correct option is 66. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move to next lesson. The next lesson is triangles and bisectors. Identify medians, altitudes, angle bisectors, and particular bisectors and perpendicular bisectors. Triangle EFH is right angle and FG is similar to EF. What which term describes FH? FH is the perpendicular bisector. Since angle EFH is a right triangle, FH is a perpendicular bisector. Let's just start with the test questions. Look at the diagram. Which term describes AAC? AC is the angle bisector because AC bisects the angle A. So AC is the angle bisector. Option number 2 is the correct option. XY is similar to YZ. Which term describes WY? WY is the perpendicular bisector because it makes a right angle on. So it would be a perpendicular bisector. Oh, median, because that divides the line XZ into exactly two halves. Look at the diagram. Which term describes IG? IG is the perpendicular bisector because it makes a perpendicular IG makes a perpendicular line on FH, so that would be a perpendicular bisector. Option number 2 is the correct option. Altitude. How? Segment from a vertex I to its opposite side FH and is perpendicular to FH. IG is an altitude of triangle FHI. Also, since there is no enough information to know IG bisects FH or whether IG bisects angle FIH, you cannot conclude IG is a median perpendicular bisector angle, or that is an altitude. Angle EGF is a right angle. Which terms describe EG? So EG is the altitude. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Angle side relationships in triangles. Find the largest angle of triangle IJK. The side length Our ik equals 31, I and j equals 38 and jk equals 40. Since 31 is less than 38 less than 40, that means ik is less than ij and less than jk. Their opposite angles are the same order. Like measurement of opposite to I is j, ik is j, opposite to I, j is k, and opposite to jk is I. So the largest angle is angle I. Let's just start with the test questions. Find the largest angle of angle IJK. So just look at the measurements of the side. So IK is less than IJ and less than JK. So just look at their angles on the opposite to angle I is J. Angle J is less than to angle K and angle I. So that means the largest angle is angle I. Option number one is the correct option. Find the largest side of angle GHI. Largest side. The side that is exactly in front of angle. G is the angle that is largest. That is IH. So IH is the largest one. Option number 3 is the correct option. That is IH. Find the largest side of triangle UVW. The largest angle is 73, right? So the side that is in front of V is WU. Option number U is the correct option. That is UW. Option number 2 is the correct option. Find the smallest angle of triangle RST. The smallest side length is SR. So T is the smallest angle. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is T. Find the largest angle of triangle ABC. Find the largest angle of triangle ABC. Angle A is the largest. The correct option is option number 3 is the correct option. What? Find the largest side of triangle STU. So the largest side would be SU. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math. Chapter we were working on is triangles. The lessons we have covered today are mid segments of triangles, triangles and bisectors, identify medians, altitudes, angle bisectors and perpendicular bisector, angle side relationship in triangles. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So any questions you can please ask if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.